What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. I'm once again joined by Tyler, and we are back for another video in our Spider-Man Community Series, a community series that airs every single Thursday at noon Eastern Standard Time, leading up to Spider-Man releasing exclusively on the PlayStation 4 on September 7th. We're going to have a bunch of videos on the game when it comes out, giveaways, special videos on the game, and we've been having these videos talking about specific topics in the game. Last week, we talked about Green Goblin, and we kind of talked about where he could be, will he appear, what's his role in this universe, Sony's Marvel universe with Spider-Man going forward. We want to do the same kind of thing today with Venom, and we got one more video left next Thursday, the day before Spider-Man on the PS4 releases. So we're going to be talking about Venom in this video, and basically the same thing. Will he appear? What's his role going forward? Kind of touching upon some of the leaks that we've seen from Spider-Man in the game without going too much into them. We want to respect the fact that people don't want it spoiled, as Tyler and I don't necessarily want things spoiled either. So I'm going to hand it over to Tyler. So Tyler, what without actually going into specifically the leaks, what do we kind of know, and what do we think about Venom in this game and in the future?
Well, what we definitely know, like we talked about in the last video, is that Norman Osborn's working on something, and like we said, that Kingpin has some kind of dirt on Norman Osborn and whatever he's going through. And it mentions the cure, or a cure. So if you want to listen to more or hear more, just go check out that Where is the Green Goblin video. Now, how it ties into Venom is I did see, because through the grace of social media where you cannot literally hide from any spoilers at all, I did see the majority of the suits in the game. Now, I'm not going to tell you each and every suit, but here is what I will tell you. There is only negative, I believe there's 2 or 3 negative versions of certain suits in the game, which means it's not the symbiote suit. It's just like whatever's light is dark and whatever's dark is light. So there is no symbiote skin or symbiote. Sony's calling it the symbiote, where it's really, I believe, symbiote. So there is no symbiote Spider-Man skin or Spider-Man suit in the game. And what that tells me is that Venom, as Venom, maybe the symbiote might be in the game, the first game. But I don't believe that Venom is in this game. But because there is no symbiote skin, that, for me at least, tells me that they're saving Venom and the whole symbiote, like that whole darker version of Spider-Man, the whole symbiote suit, they're saving that for another game. They're not just going to give you a skin and then kind of confuse you like, oh, well, that wasn't the official symbiote skin. This is the official symbiote or suit. This is the official symbiote suit. So they're definitely saving it for a later date. I don't believe it'll be like a DLC suit. I believe it will be directly tied into the story. So, that's kind of exciting. And what I will mention quickly, I'm not gonna describe it or anything, but one of the skins is not only his classic suit, but like a true classic suit, as well as his wrestling outfit. Because as we all know, Spider-Man, before he became Spider-Man, he did that whole wrestling thing to make money and yada yada yada. So he's been Spider-Man for 8 years, and in that 8 years, as true to the origins, he did the wrestling thing. I almost don't think we might see it in a cutscene, but I doubt that we'll play as it as Peter Parker in the wrestling suit. But that is it. That's actually a skin in this game. And the reason I'm bringing that up is for them to give us something like that tells me that Venom and the symbiote stuff throughout those 8 years has not been something that Peter Parker's interacted with. Obviously, he's interacted with Rhino and Electro and Scorpion because he knows about, and Shocker, because from what we've seen in the trailers, he's clearly already not only fought them, but defeated them and put them away, and then they just kind of escaped. So the fact that that's kind of taken place, and there's no reference at all in the skins to the symbiote, tells me that Venom and the symbiote does not exist yet. And he has not faced them yet. So, and Venom's a huge, arguably, for me, it's Green Goblin and Spider-Man, but for some people, and sometimes myself, it's Spider-Man and Venom is the true rival of Spider-Man. Leaving the symbiote skin or symbiote suit out of this first game, in my eyes, confirms to me that they are going to be using him in a future, possibly the next game, but in a future game. And he also probably will have a much larger role in the game, because I think because the symbiote suit is such an iconic thing for Spider-Man that people recognize, especially Spider-Man fans recognize. The fact that they're leaving it out tells me that it's not just something that they're willing to throw away. It is going to have like a big importance into this whole Spider-Man PS4 universe.
So we kind of asked this question last week with Green Goblin, so I'll ask it again to you, Tyler. Do you think that Venom will actually appear in this game, or is this another villain / character that you think that they're saving for future? Because we all pretty much assume that there's going to be future Spider-Man games. Insomniac would be working on it. Do you think it's a this game kind of character, or do you think they're saving him for the future?
So one thing that I saw online a couple days ago that interested me is by Pop Games. It's like the Funko things, the Funko figures or whatever that have the big heads, and it is for the Spider-Man game. I guess it's sold by EB Games. This whatever this is, and it's a black suit in the new the new original PS4 game Spider-Man suit. It's a black suit with white or whatever, and I sent it to Alex, and I thought it was interesting because I'm like, man, maybe this is the symbiote suit. But now I'm not sure. But at the same time, I don't know about you, Alex, but I think it's odd that they would, out of all the suits, that they would choose, like, why would they make a black one, like a negative one? Why would you even sell it? They can sell, I mean, I don't know, because technically the classic suit that they have in the game is their take on the classic suit too, because there's a true Spider-Man comic book classic suit. There's actually 3 classic suits in this game. So now, looking at this toy, it's sort of, I don't know, it's kind of strange that they did that. I don't know if they just thought it would look cool, or I'm not sure why they did it, but maybe it's just kind of like a glimpse at what we might be seeing in the next game or two. But anyways, I know in the Green Goblin video I said that that'll probably be I think they'll do Sinister Six, and I still think that. And they'll probably have Green Goblin be the main villain for the final game, or the third game or whatever. And I still think that's true, but I'm starting to now wonder if they're going to do a different, like their own take on Green Goblin. Like maybe there's 2 forms of Green Goblin, and I'm wondering if, like I said earlier, if the experiment that Norman Osborn is doing is creating the symbiote, and I wonder if Venom will kind of appear not with, but along with, I guess, the Sinister Six. So Spider-Man will have to face the Sinister Six, then Venom comes along, and I almost wonder if Osborn won't be able to control Venom, and Venom, maybe not so much Spider-Man, but Venom's the one who kind of almost takes out the Sinister Six, and then it's going to kind of be like, so now Spider-Man's going to have to deal with Venom in the next game, and he's strong enough to single-handedly take out basically all of Spider-Man's greatest foes. And then I was thinking, too, just brainstorming just now, then I was wondering if Norman Osborn found a way to almost gain control of Venom, maybe by somehow merging, and then Venom and Green Goblin, it becomes a different form of Green Goblin. I don't know, but for whatever reason, I'm kind of feeling like they're going to have the Scarecrow Joker type thing that Arkham Knight had, where the true villain is Scarecrow in that, but we saw Joker a lot. I'm almost wondering if, again, where the true villain is Green Goblin, but the one that we're really going to deal with and see a lot of is Venom, because if we get that, where Venom goes on to Spider-Man and kind of changes him, I wonder if they're going to have a different take on the symbiote suit, where maybe it doesn't so much change the color of his suit, which that just is like a symbolic representation. I wonder if it's going to mess with his mind, because maybe more time even passes. Let's say it brings him to 10 or 15 years of Spider-Man being Spider-Man. Maybe it does this thing where, Venom is inside of his head, and he just keeps seeing like a dark version of himself, Peter, more like kind of like Venom, like maybe sharp teeth or whatever, more pale with dark veins on him, and he starts to question himself as Spider-Man and question what he's done and how he's really helped, and look at what happened with Uncle Ben and Aunt May and whatever. And I wonder if it'll be that type of thing where by the end he is able to, restore faith in himself and become an even greater Spider-Man out of it. He becomes like a hero again. That would be kind of cool to see that, where, because we know that Spider-Man's kind of like quit. I mean, at least in the movie, only one movie technically. But that's like a normal thing. But I think that would be a good story where it's like, he's taken on these villains, whatever. He's done a good job, but now he has to, is he okay with Mary Jane breaking up with him and not having a normal life and this and that? Because they are going for that more real life type thing, and we'll see that right in the intro of the game. So I almost am wondering if their take on Venom and the symbiote, if we'll get the real Venom, but then he'll turn into more of a means of kind of like having Peter have some kind of reflection constantly with him. Because I know that Alex really enjoyed how they did Batman and Joker. I know Alex wishes that Joker was actually alive. But in my eyes, how they did the Batman, Bruce Wayne, and Joker thing in Arkham Knight was the most ingenious thing I've ever... honestly, I almost think it was the most ingenious story plot thing in a video game. I thought it just worked so well, let alone for a superhero. To take a big villain like that and to literally turn the hero into the villain. I don't know. Not that I want them to copy Arkham Knight and stuff or the Arkham series, but those are just so good. It's kind of hard not to want to see what they can do with Spider-Man.
So let us know in the comments below, guys, what do you think about Venom? Do you think he should show up or he will show up in this Spider-Man game, or do you think they're saving him for another one? What do you think about Tyler's idea? I definitely agree. I think they could really take a lot of pages out of the Batman Arkham games and make it even better than the Arkham games did, and that's what I'm hoping for and looking forward to for this Spider-Man game. Now, next week, when we have this video, the reviews are actually going to already be up, and Tyler and I have done this for a couple community series in the past where we've gone over the early reactions to whatever it is. We're going to be doing that next week. We'll go over what we've seen from the Spider-Man reviews leading up the day before Spider-Man comes out, and then we'll have a bunch of Spider-Man content. So that comes out next Thursday at noon Eastern Standard Time, and we hope to see you guys there.